Anti-gunners and the reporters at the New York Times are just horrified to learn that the guns collected at government-backed buyback programs are recycled and sold back to the public, meaning there's no real net loss to the number of guns at all. They're even more mad to learn that the very gun control laws they root for are what allow it to happen. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is brought to you by Blackout Coffee Company. They're the coffee company that I trust to actually back the Second Amendment, veterans, and traditional values. They support channels like mine and give some of their profits to gun rights groups directly through the sale of their partner roasts. To help support the channel with a good cup of coffee, go to blackoutcoffee.com/libertydoll. Just about any time a company offers to buy something used, you can count on it to be refurbished or scrapped for parts to recoup the cost. Used cars, electronics, appliances, thrift stores. This is literally nothing new, and it makes sense this would also apply to the firearms market. But the anti-gunners expect guns to be the one item that companies are willing to just lose hundreds and thousands of dollars over. Businesses disposing of firearms are supposed to just act as charities that don't pay their employees or electric bills. Now, I will admit, I also did not know how these gun disposal companies work, and the most surprising thing to me is not the way that it happens, but the fact that law enforcement goes along with it. But economically, it just makes sense. Here's how it works. A police department or other government entity enters into a contract with a gun disposal company. They then buy back guns, ship them off to the gun disposal company, and then that company destroys them by ATF official policy. Meaning, because the ATF just so happens to consider several gun parts to be firearms in and of themselves, the companies can legally destroy that one part and then sell the rest of it off as a parts kit to make money and recoup costs. The ATF has even approved the tools and methods the companies use to do this. They've also approved the act of selling off the parts in kits. So all of it is completely legal within ATF parameters. The firearms are, by ATF definition, destroyed. Who would have ever thought that ATF definitions would be that useful? And because police departments are always so worried about their budgets, the companies offer this service for free. If a law enforcement agency wants the guns completely destroyed or even melted down, well, that one is a paid service because it costs money. According to the companies, the only agencies that pay are federal agencies like the Secret Service. These companies say that many of their parts kits go to collectors looking for parts to repair guns that just aren't made anymore, but the New York Times seems to think that that is some kind of dog whistle doublespeak for making unserialized crime guns because that is what every town in Giffords told them. Because logically, it just makes more sense to believe political groups with an agenda rather than the people that are actually involved. Science. Isn't that what they say science is these days? These groups go so far as to suggest that police departments sign up with these companies without reading their contracts. Basically, the way they put it in the story is like this. Her, I see an ad that says something is for free. Let me sign up. Click. Really? Except that some of these police departments have put in modifications to their contracts or have their own separate requirements. So unless they're just blindly throwing darts at a wall, they probably read the piece of paper. In some cases, like with LSC destruction, the police keep a serialized part of the gun. Some departments require that the parts be sold to distributors instead of directly to the civilian market, which is really just sending them to a middleman first. Which is funny because the Times and gun control groups complain when the destruction companies sell legal parts because people can buy parts without a background check. Ooh. But then also complain when those parts are sold back to a company that might use them in a gun and then require a background check. So I guess recycling is only cool when it's water bottles or plastic bags? And those stupid cardboard straws that never work. Either way, as one anonymous police official said, giving the buyback guns to a company like Gunbusters in Missouri, LSC Destruction in Nevada, or half a dozen others keeps the politicians happy and the cops happy, as they can all say they don't sell guns to the public while also saving money. One company alone has contracts with over 950 police departments across the country and reports most of its guns come from gun-controlled blue states. Actually, those companies are getting most of their guns from Michigan right now, which I'm sure just thrills little Miss Witchy Whitmer. Some states require police departments to sell or trade in crime guns, old service weapons, or they just ban buybacks. Other states ban police from selling or trading in their guns, but it turns out that in the end, they basically all end up in the same place, highlighting how useless buybacks and virtue signaling really are. As one buyback organizer put it, this news has made them realize that, quote, our society is set up really well for buying and selling guns. Geez, it's almost like that's a natural born right that our country was founded on. So yes, our society is set up to buy and sell guns, a fact that gun controllers seem to forget, along with the natural right and the fact that gun control doesn't work. It's not often that I can say that I learned something from the New York Times, but today is one of those days. Unfortunately, what's probably going to happen is a whole bunch of gun control people and politicians coming out trying to find a way to stop this from happening. But if law enforcement is already this on board, I don't see them being very successful. That is it for this video, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe if you are new here. Ring that notification bell because I know it is the season for YouTube to be deleting subscriptions. Well, I mean, that's every season, but the complaints have been ramped up as of late. Also, a reminder to check out my second channel, the Liberty Homestead, which I will link down in the description, and the Gundies Awards, where I have been nominated by you lovely people in 2 separate categories. You can vote, I don't know, I think for another 2 weeks? I thought it was all month, but apparently it isn't. Either way, check out the link for that down in the description as well. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and happy shooting.